Now the official Bears.
Yeah, but people don't know about the first Now
Now they do.
But they didn't hear it for themselves. It's hearsay. We could be lying.
You called me a liar, kind sir?
I don't think there was a first
Oh my god.
Now I'm just sowing seeds of doubt amongst listeners.
You're a seed of doubt.
Was there another I don't know now.
Oh lord. Podcast. People don't care about that much.
Podcast.
Podcast. Don't make me bust out though. I don't know what this is.
The Switch stick. Nintendo reference. Bam.
Speaking of Nintendo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 64 Bits of Rage.
64 bits of rage.
Raging 64 bits.
It's really hard for me to hit that high. My voice is like shot now for the rest of the day.
Nope. I can just flick it and then then you can get that high.
Like for a split second.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It doesn't work like that then?
No, it does not work like that. Not the slightest.
Misconception
your testosterone's gone for 3.5 seconds.
Hey, 3.5 seconds. There you go.
No.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't known this by now, I'm Ariel Schultz.
And I'm Anthony Schultz.
Always taking a drag.
Yeah, it was good timing, too. I'm sure the mic picked that up, too.
Just the release of nicotine in the brain with the caffeine.
You know what? We live through trying times, and I don't drink, so.
Not anymore.
Yeah, well, exactly.
It's a horrible time to go drinking, by the way.
Yeah, it's a good test of faith.
Yeah.
Or like willpower. Can you not drink while
it's a bit
the world goes crazy?
It's a bit lacking, the willpower here. Anyway, so this episode I'm supremely excited about. It's gonna be a Animal Crossing episode, especially talking about the new one that came out. I know we've talked about, I think, Animal Crossing tidbits before.
Yeah, we had a podcast before this where we talked about new releases, and they were really focused on Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Yeah.
I believe that was Rage Quit. And then now we're dividing up kind of our spoiler cast. So we're going to be doing, this is episode 11. We're going to be doing Animal Crossing New Horizons with some history kind of tidbits of the series too.
Yeah, and then definitely spoilers if you haven't dived into it or...
For this episode, and then on our sister podcast, Rage Quit, it'll be episode 26.
Doom Eternal.
Will be Doom Eternal spoiler cast. So
Doom.
if you're interested in both of them, like we obviously are and were, then you can listen to this one, and then in the same week, just a couple days prior, you'll be able to listen to Doom Eternal. So.
Yeah, exactly. But no, we're super excited to be able to talk about it. Like I said, I'm going to dive into a little bit of the history. We've kind of talked about it before. But if you're like tuning in for the first time, kind of give you the background. I'm not going to divulge in all the games, I think, like we did previously. Just kind of the three main ones I feel like are the most important.
Yeah, I don't think we dive headlong into all of them, and maybe
because some of them weren't necessarily Animal Crossing-esque. They were just kind of versions, like
Animal Crossing,
ish kind of.
Yeah, but that kind of lends credence to, like, you prefer to play, and we'll get in more of this later, but you prefer to play New Horizons in handheld mode, and all the other ones, save for the GameCube one, were on handhelds.
Yeah, that's
so you think you would prefer those ones more than actually the original, almost?
I didn't really know about the other ones, though, because...
Which is surprising, because you had a DS.
I did, yeah, but in the same time, we're kind of going to divulge in the fact that I had a bajillion siblings and couldn't really get all the games I wanted. That's true.
But we'll dive into that a little bit later.
When you got a big family, it sucks when you want something cool. Anyways, so, I forgot what I was going to say.
We're going to talk about the history of...
Oh, yeah, let me dive in the history of that, so I'll go there.
So it's a good starting place.
It is.
Well, we're going to start out with, like Ariel said, the first one, and then pretty much jump ahead to the cell phone one, and then the rest
Switch,
of the episode will be the Switch one.
So the very first Animal Crossing was essentially made on the Nintendo 64, but that was only released in Japan, and then in April 14, 2001, it was enhanced and re-released on the GameCube later, and
for Japan and North America, which is really cool because that was our first kind of foray into Animal Crossing, at least here in the West.
Yeah, and I played it on the GameCube, which is where I started out. So I'll dive into actually the gameplay itself. I don't need to dive into history because it's relatively self-explanatory. So what's cool, it's a simulator. It's like open-ended, But the gender and looks of the character depend on answers given to the cat named Rover, whom the player meets on the train that's taking you to the town, which is legit. Like, you have to answer specific questions, and then it kind of guesses. You can alter it yourself if you don't like what it picks. But in the same breath, it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, fuck, I'll go with that. That's cool. And so, with that being said, there are also tasks the player can complete and goals they can achieve. So, there are also tasks. Lost my train of thought where I was going. The game is played in real time, which is cool. Observing days, weeks, and months using the GameCube's internal clock, which I thought was fucking cool. Like,
yeah, and fairly new of that time.
Yeah, and what was cool is
I think you'd be hard pressed to find other games that did that. That was kind of the start of that. Like you get like day-night cycles, but then also using your console's internal clock.
Well, then of course you could cheat like I did a lot when certain events or things would happen and just jump time. You just change the time and date on your GameCube.
You can even do that now with like PS4 games and stuff.
I know.
I've noticed like doing trophy runs for some games. People have done that. They've used that clock hack to get stuff done quicker.
Would I find it's
Fallout
funny?
Shelter as well.
Fallout Shelter, yeah. I just find it funny because, like, I never thought of that as a game hack. I'm like, well, fuck, I want it to be this day because then my thing I need is coming or whatever. And I'm like, I'll just fast forward in time or the weeds will be... What's funny is, like, how... It's tangential to kind of gameplay I just remembered. In this Animal Crossing that I played on the GameCube, when you picked weeds, they would just disappear. You couldn't sell them compared to where you can sell them now.
Yeah, and you can even craft certain items and the new ones with it. Like
I think I gave you a Oh, you haven't been on. I gave you a succulent.
Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah, I haven't been on those since then. But yeah, and you can craft like the hay bed and stuff with the weeds and some other things.
So, and then they do have the real life events, so including Independence Day, Halloween, the Harvest Festival, aka Thanksgiving, Toy Day, aka Christmas. Kind of to bypass those weird, people getting weird. Oh, it's Christmas. I don't celebrate
I don't think
Christmas.
that was really a thing at the time. It's probably just so it's more universal.
In GameCube? Like, a little bit.
20 years ago? Almost 20 years ago? I don't think so.
I stopped celebrating Halloween.
That's like personal though. You stopped. Nah.
No. When I was in school and stuff, like I couldn't say Merry Christmas. They were starting to transition to that.
When was that?
Fucking that long ago.
That was not a thing to the school I went to at all.
Well, you went into Wodong Teeny Cheeny, duh.
I went to the bigger school than your school when I was in Tacoma and in the Valley beforehand.
Yeah, but then it was kind of when the Wassels thing started. You were out by then.
We did the Wassel. It just didn't count. We were the very last grade for state testing didn't count.
Anyways,
but we had to take it. We were the test groups for all you peeps.
Yeah. Other activities such as fishing tournament, early morning fitness classes, and so on and so forth. But the cool part is when you go to save compared to what it is on the Switch, and obviously with the handheld one, the Animal Crossing Pocket game, is you had to talk to the Gyroid. Gyroid? Gyroid?
Where are we looking?
Gyroid.
There's the save. When players stop playing, they can talk to I'd say Gyroid. Yeah. Gyroid, a creature next to their house to save their progress.
And then you go in your house and it saves. But what's cool is, that's a necessary toddler. With the Pocket game, the Gyroids are collectibles. You collect them for certain events and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's nothing in the Switch so far about the Gyroids. But with that being said, that's how you saved in the one on the GameCube. You had to talk to them and save. There's no other way to save.
Well, which that makes sense. Again, that you're like right on the cusp or like a precursor to autosaves just because of the console generation.
Yeah, or right there.
Because that GameCube had memory cards still.
Yeah, still.
So you had to like usually hard save.
Yeah.
It really wasn't until the HG generation, so like PS3, Wii, and 360
that had
autosaves. Because they had hard drives.
I still don't trust autosaves.
Hard drives or they had SSD cards. So.
Yeah, what's funny because you and I still both don't trust autosaves.
Oh yeah, I manually save all the time. I let it autosave, obviously. I don't like turn off that functionality, but I usually use the secondary slot and manually save for
what game
every game that
playing?
you can.
I think we talked about this before. What game were we playing where you forgot to save in a long time and the system crashed or whatever? And the autosave didn't work?
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember which title that was, but I did have that recently happen where I got a reproduction of Skies of Arcadia for the Sega Dreamcast. And because it's a reproduction, everything is pretty well spot on, but it's not as stable as if I actually owned the original, just by the nature of being a reproduction. But that froze and I hadn't gotten to a save point yet because I was in the beginning of the game.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I had to start over and kind of blitz through.
Luckily,
all
you're
the
only like 10
dialogues.
minutes into the game comparatively to 3 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't like 3 hours in, like you just said. But it was still like rough because I was like, oh, I didn't even have a chance to see.
Right.
I froze, and I had to start
and
over.
it's like I've learned from my tragedy to do hard saves because like when I was playing Pokemon on my Nintendo DS, I can't remember which one it was.
It was a DS, yeah.
It was before you and I was a teenager.
Yeah.
But I had dropped it and the batteries had fallen out and it hadn't auto-saved or saved and I hadn't auto-saved and it put me literally right back in the beginning. I was like 4 hours into the game just playing it. And of course I set it down and when you're a kid, you're playing in the bathroom, you know.
Yeah, before like cloud saves and stuff, I had my PS3 die on me twice and I lost endgame saves of what is it? Dragon. Oh my god, listeners are screaming at me right now. The BioWare RPG franchise, Dragon.
I don't know.
Oh my god, I'm gonna look that up real quick. Dragon something or other Origins. I don't know why I'm
You're just like brain farting hard right now.
I really am. I'm having difficulties. But that and then Final Fantasy 13. It wasn't backed up in the cloud and it bricked the console, so the hard drive was kind of toast too. And I lost like complete saves for like just a ton of stuff, which was just that was rough. That was rough.
That is hard. That's hard. It's been while you're looking that up. So
Dragon Age, there we go. So the first Dragon Age Origins. I lost my endgame save twice on that game. Never gone back and finished it, and then Final Fantasy 13, and that was before cloud saves and stuff. So that really kind of put a sour taste in my mouth after that. And now I'm very diligent about, even though manually saving like you are, making sure that the
I've saved
PlayStation Plus subscription is always ahead, so that
Exactly.
all my saves are backed up.
And so speaking of saving, after you save and you can turn off the game. And there's a part where there's this one critter, I can't remember if he's a mole or whatever he is. He's essentially a con artist. He cons you out of your bells.
That's messed up.
And he says if you like...
Tom Nook's already doing that.
I know, right?
Like, legally. But have another con artist in the mix. That's rough.
He says, I'll give you this really cool specialty thing if you give me these many bells. Oh, well, now it's these many bells. And you keep doing it. And then at the end, it's honestly just a con and he disappears. But what I used to do, and a lot of people used to do this, would pull, when you turn it off automatically or just without saving, just shut it off. Because I would do a hard save beforehand, talk to the G-Road, and then, exploring, and then he'd come up and like, okay, well, I haven't really done much, because he always approaches you when you come out of your house. So it's not consistent. So it was after a hard save, so I'm like, okay, well, I just saved, so I'd turn it off. But then Mr. Rossetti, he was the mole. He yells at you. How dare you shut off the game? You're losing valuable information. Don't do it again.
That's hilarious.
Fuck you, Rossetti.
But he's the con artist.
Yeah, but I would do it again.
Well, of course, yeah.
So other things is, essentially kind of the same, to expand, catching the bugs, paying them rent.
Yeah, at its core, it's really a simulation game.
It is.
I mean, it's really like a... It's a more fun or like family friendly or more like probably aesthetically like even like pleasing like simulation game.
Yeah,
I mean it's like playing SimCity but it's got character.
Yeah,
it's not a hardcore simulation game, which those have their place as well. It's actually just more enticing because it is character driven and it's got its own unique aesthetic and all that good stuff.
I think the worst thing in the one on the GameCube, I couldn't fucking catch fish to shave my goddamn life. The fish were a bitch to catch in that game.
I remember trying that out, and I don't know if I brought it up on this podcast or not, but I think I have actually. When I was in high school. My best friend and I, Blaine and myself, would go over to another really close friends of ours who lived close by.
Yeah.
Because Blaine and I lived like ridiculously far away from our high school. So I think he had to be driven into school because he was technically outside the school district. And I had like an hour bus ride to get to my high school. Yeah. But our friend Tyson lived like 2 blocks away. It was like, there was like a soccer field, and then there was like a fence line, of course, a road, and then his house. And he was like right in the middle of Cheney, Washington, where I grew up.
That's great.
And we would go over and we would try out GameCube games and stuff. And one of the ones he had us try out was Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
That's the first time that I ever played Animal Crossing. I never had a GameCube until like
No,
years
you were
later.
a PlayStation kid, so.
Yeah, at the time I had a PS2 and I think a PS1, which was kind of, it didn't really matter so much because PS2 played PS1 games, but that was the console that I was playing on at the time. But I got to try out some GameCube games and stuff. Animal Crossing was one of them, and I remember even then finding it. I knew that I wasn't making money or would have money to be able to buy the console and the game myself, but I thought it was like super quaint and very charming, and I thought it was a really interesting and cool game nonetheless.
Yeah. And that's the kind of game I like, because for me, it's like I've talked to you about multiple times, like I don't necessarily play games too often, and it's like I have really bad motion sickness.
Yeah.
And even though some games you still play to this day, it's like, okay, I can't. I have to stop watching.
Well, I was playing Doom Eternal last night, and I got a little like,
woo.
And I was playing.
Right.
I can't imagine watching that recording back that I took and trying to edit that for YouTube. That's gonna be a little rough.
This would be fun, but like I was saying, I could easily play this. It's just kind of a top down, essentially.
Oh yeah, the camera is great. It's not like wavering back and forth.
No, it's not
like
quick
it's
pace.
fairly fixed.
Yeah.
There's some times where you can, especially in the new one, where you can just make a adjustment.
Yeah.
It's like completely top down, or it's kind of at that front, 45 degree or 60 degree angle, and then that's it. So,
well, yeah.
And it's not your character's not moving like ridiculously fast.
No,
or
you're
anything like
walking, a slight jog or maybe most a quick pace, but nothing too over the top.
Yeah.
And what I like the most too is with it is.
So we're talking about New Horizons now, though, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm still talking about the original Animal Crossing. New Horizon 2, but because they have the similar gameplay.
Yeah.
But that's why I like playing the game when I was on the GameCube. So what I want to kind of divulge into some of the characters, obviously, that you see previously. So you get Tom Nook, of course. The raccoon.
Shiesty raccoon.
You're a shiesty raccoon.
He's
so
a loan shark.
You're a loan shark.
I'm not a loan shark.
So you get Tom Nook. Then you get Blathers, the museum curator. And what's cool is ones that aren't in this one, the New Horizon one, is the security dog. He's like the police department.
Him.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? We might.
True.
Yeah.
We haven't quite finished the game, obviously. We haven't expanded as much. And, I'm trying to think. That's only the one I can honestly think
Stella.
of. Stella. Well, you get, like, the other characters that live in your,
Or no, not Stella. I'm sorry. Isabel.
Oh, yeah, Isabel, yeah.
That's the character I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Isabel.
Not
as far
Stella.
as the main character. Stella is, an optional one. You're right. I was thinking Isabel, which we do get in New Horizons as well.
But then the same thing, it's like, obviously all the playable anamorphic characters and stuff that live in your village. They either live there or don't, depending on your interactions with them. You can have up to 15 at one time, as low as 5. And they move in, move out. It's just kind of the nature of the beast of that game. And with me, it's always catching the bugs, paying their rent. I liked the one thing, which
Snapping their necks, paying their rent.
Oh, God. Is I liked catching scorpions, which were just as hard as the goddamn fucking tarantulas in New Leaf. So like New Leaf with the tarantulas. I'm trying to say spider and tarantula at the same time without making a portmanteau of it. Spinaptulars. But I catch the scorpions. And they're Scorpions? There you go. Scorpions. But they're just as hard as the tarantulas. Spoilers.
You gotta keep the spiders.
Spoilers.
I gotta keep my net out, make sure I don't get poisoned with my spoils.
But they're rare creatures and hard to catch.
Scorpions. That doesn't work. You gotta do it the other way.
Yeah.
It's gotta be...
Spoiders.
Spoilers kind of works. Scorpions.
Scorpions. Gotta catch my scorpions. And catch them. And the same thing with Blathers. He's the museum creator. You obviously donate things to him. Yep. And he still hates
fossils
bugs
and whatnot.
Yeah, he still, except for I always kept my fossils. They're cool. So obviously they're a little more rare on that island, and you can't really travel like you can with the New Leaf.
Well, I mean, we're talking about like now new generation of consoles.
Yeah,
more powerful and
completely different aspect, and so
network capabilities and stuff too.
So I would easily just catch scorpions, and that I liked how they looked. They were really cool, so I would display them in my home. And then obviously dig up certain ones and go to Mr. Blathers and see which fossils that I had. Don't eat the ones I really don't like, except for the ones I really wanted. So I have a T-Rex skull inside my New Horizons. Or, excuse me, not New Horizons, but my Animal Crossing.
I've got like a Triceratops one right now in my house. So,
I know, right?
Yeah, and that was an extra, so it wasn't one that I hadn't given Blathers, but I was like, fuck, that'd be cool. So I just put it in my house.
So, and then other times, you know, if I've already caught it, or some things were cool, so I keep them. But I donate most of it to other Blathers, and then I sell what's extra, you know, fruit and stuff, to Mr. Nook. And so, which kind of brings me to the, not next generation, but I feel like kind of good jump. Because obviously they're the handheld versions and stuff like that we've kind of talked about. And there's
there's just like 3 DS and 3DS Animal Crossings that were pretty popular and kind of tided people over from a console release.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think Animal Crossing on iOS in particular, because that's what we're using.
Yeah.
Was one of Nintendo's early kind of forays into mobile games and using their properties for that. And
yeah,
you get like Mario Run, you get Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and then there's
Dr. Mario now.
I think there's a Mario Kart.
I don't know.
Well, or they talked about it at least. But besides, Nintendo has kind of dived into the mobile market. And
because their
Pocket Camp, did really well for them.
Or their handheld games. And I think Pocket Camp was essentially them testing the waters of bringing Animal Crossing to the Switch.
I think they were going to do that regardless. I think it's more
it's my theory, but whatever.
Increased bottom line.
Yeah.
Comes down to.
Sooner than later situation. But with that being said, I downloaded the Pocket Camp because you told me about it. Actually, I didn't know about it, and you know how much I loved Animal Crossing because I always played it on my DS or my
because
3DS.
I played Pocket Camp actually quite a bit. Like when I was working,
catching the bugs, been that right?
Crazy, hours and stuff every week. I would do that. I had like 3 or 4 games that I rotated through just to do like the dailies kind of a thing. And Pocket Camp was one of them.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's also caught me. It's the gacha game in that version,
Most mobile games are gacha games anyways.
And to log in every day and get a cool money and stuff like that. Obviously, the big difference with that one is that it does have in-game currency, which is the dollars. Because it still has bells. You still collect things and stuff. You switch bells towards expanding this. And this time it's your RV, because your Pocket Camp's campsite.
Yeah.
You still have Blathers, but Mr. Blathers is a map orientation dude. He has maps you explore to earn items or people or stuff like that. Which is kind of cool. They still kept that in a sense. There's still the Nook shop. There's Isabel, who's introduced in this one. And, the curator of the camp.
Yeah.
But what's cool is with the Pocket Camp version, obviously it's a gacha game version. So, you log in, you get these daily things, you get more events, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I like event-oriented, games, to be honest.
Some I like more than others. I really, really like the ones that involve planting flowers and catching certain types of bugs. There was a candy one, so you planted marzipan flowers. There was a tulip one. You planted tulips, of course, for spring. And, you catch the bugs, you plant them, let them grow, you water them, and then they grow. And then, of course, the bugs are on there, and they catch the bugs, and we catch the bugs.
So, yeah, Isabel debuted a new Leaf, so the 3DS one.
Yeah, which we're not talking about that one.
No, I know. I was just curious for my own sake.
No,
when Isabel,
it's officially.
I know she's a very beloved character, and people were excited to find out that she's in New Horizons as well.
Yeah, she hasn't been introduced yet, but
she heads the Resident Hall, which we haven't gotten yet.
Nope. Anyways, yeah, we're still diving into that game. But with the Pocket Camp one, which is cool because you still expand, but you deal with the Bird Brothers who expand your camper, not Mr. Nook who expands your homes.
Yeah.
Because it's different now. So we have a camper, you can expand the thing, add a floor, expand it again. I maxed out my expansion because it's really easy to collect fruit and bugs in it because it's a pocket handheld version. And of course they have other things where they get the gacha part is the in-game currency when it comes to the dollars.
Yeah.
Where you do certain things, you can earn dollars, you log in every day, you get the dollars on the login that day, or, You level up, you get dollars, you get $10.
It's pretty much the equivalent to the Miles program in the new one.
It is. It's very equivalent, which is completely different from
but
the...
more invested in the cell phone or smartphone ecosystem.
Yeah,
as far as like pay structures and stuff.
Yeah, like I said, in-game currency where you pay actual money to get the dollars, because some things that are rarer items that you can get, they're $250 fucking dollars, and it's like, I got 15.
My Futurama games like that too. You can save up, instead of dollars, it's pizza slices, but you can buy packs of pizza slices because it does take. You can't earn them, but it takes forever to earn. I don't put a cent into that game, but
no, neither do I.
I will save up the 250 or 300 pizza slices to get Calculon or whatever. But.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, same here. It's like, I'll save up my...
We're not whales for cell phone games.
No.
So even though those kind of systems are already baked into the game, it's like we don't really implement them.
Yeah.
Play enough to earn it on our own.
True. I mean, I know I've dived into it a little bit far, but like, what's your experience like with the differences and then Pocket Camp so far in this conversation?
Pocket Camp, I'm having a hard time, like, remembering, even though I did play it, but it was, again, just, like, a couple minutes, like, each day to, like, log it, like, on a break or something, or a lunch break when I was working a day job, but, Pocket Camp I enjoyed for what it was. I feel like I got a better, like, vertical slice of what Animal Crossing was and could be, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably, like, the most familiar I had ever been with Animal Crossing as a whole, like as a franchise. So it was kind of cool to see how like the systems work and the simulation aspects of the game or interactions with characters or, you know, just I've talked about this on Rage Quit, but I'm a huge fan of like collectathons. No, a lot of people don't like those kind of games. But one of the reasons I like Ubisoft so much, which might deter a lot of people, is because a lot of times their open world games are collectathons. You know, Assassin's Creed definitely is, Far Cry especially, games like that where if you want a platinum trophy on it or you want to explore the entire map fully, you have to collect everything. Animal Crossing is the same kind of way, except the tangibility of collecting.
Yeah, is much more feasible.
It's more feasible, and then there's a immediate reward on top of it. You either get bells or you get dollars or what, you know, whatever currency, you know, for whatever particular Animal Crossing. Or it's meant to give to a person and increases your level. Yeah, and I feel like it's a lot more like thought out than some of those Ubisoft games that I mentioned. So I like that. It's like an immediate reward, so you get immediate satisfaction, and that makes you feel good about playing, and then makes you want to play more. Instead of like, oh, I collected this stuff, but I'm going to have to collect 1,000 more, you know, over the course of the next 4 months before I can do anything with it. It's not structured like that. No. So it's really cool.
And it's nice to see, too, because like you said, the, you know, instant reward where it's like, you know, I've collected all these oranges. Well, this person wants these oranges. Well, if I give them these oranges, it increases my level. Well, if I increase my level, I'll get dollars for it, which I can use towards this cool item that I want, but I really don't want to buy into it.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, it's definitely very multi-layered. You get that immediate kind of satisfaction that you can get within a single play period or even day. And then, like you just pointed out, you know, maybe your long-term goal is to kind of rack up these tiers. And so to get a more expensive item, you know, a few weeks from now.
Yeah.
But at least you're getting something, like, from the get-go. You're getting something a week later from that original interaction. Or at least you get the ball rolling then. And then you do as well, you know, 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, 2 months later.
I can buy the cool item that I wanted, outfit or whatever it is.
Yeah. And so I find that really interesting because I found a lot of games that have similar kind of structures or gameplay mechanics don't do that. It's either one or the other. It's immediate and then it's just kind of shallow. So you're like, well,
what was the whole point of that?
I got it, but it's not really something I was really crazy about and I don't really care as much. It's just the game led me to do this. Yeah. Or, you know, it's like Far Cry, where it's like getting every single collectible for a trophy so I can get a platinum trophy on it is going to take me 6 months. And so it's like I'm not going to get really a tangible, save for maybe some experience points, a reward right out the gate. And it does a good job of layering from like the bottom of the spectrum to the top of the spectrum.
Yeah, very evenly too, which is hard to do.
It's a good gameplay loop is kind of what it boils down to.
It is, you know, it makes you want to log back in because, you know, if you log in, you'll get those daily rewards, but at the same time, they got daily tasks you can do, you can check those off.
Yeah, and you're always building towards bigger and bigger things.
Yeah, and then obviously the daily events or the monthly events, like I said, you know, doing the events with the bugs or the... I'm not much, not necessarily not a collectathon, but I don't like having to go around on, because of what the Pocket Camp, there's 4 different islands you go on.
Yeah.
You go on the beach, the lake, the island with the bugs, and then the island with the fruit.
Yeah.
The pastures. No, that's not the right word.
Orchards. Orchards, yeah.
Orchards and stuff. And so you travel the 4 islands. There's always the 4 characters that are on the islands. You can invite them to your camp. I only have a handful, the ones I really like, just aesthetically. A cool purple sheep that looks like a flower. You know, I have 2 cats. One's purple, one's black and white. And then I think a dog and an elephant.
That's awesome.
Eloise. I remember their names. It's just, in depth. But, you can invite nearly all of them, but you have to create their, if it's sporty or natural essence, you have to create all their furniture before you can invite them and then set it out.
Okay.
But I don't like doing that. That's just too time consuming for me. I don't like necessarily inviting people to my camp to begin with.
Well, it's kind of cool though that you can pick and choose what you want. There's
you can.
multiple
There's certain ones. There's this one
gameplay loops that might entice other people, but not
there's a
others.
couple of characters I wouldn't mind having, and I wouldn't mind creating their furniture, but I haven't leveled them up, which essentially you level them up when you level up when you give them fruit or bugs or do tasks that they ask for you to do.
Which makes sense.
Obviously it's very simple because it's on your cell phone, so you either give them fruit or you give them bugs or you talk to them and they talk back to you and increases their level, and then once they hit a level, go from 6 to 7, that 7 gives you a heart, which levels you up. You obviously got the bar to fill all the way up, and I tick them off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because I do cheat sometimes too, because this is where this game jumps in with characters. So you obviously have Isabel, Tom Nook. You actually have as boys Timmy and Tommy Nook in this game.
Oh, in New Horizons?
Is
that what we're talking about?
Pocket Camp.
Oh,
no.
Pocket Camp, okay.
I'm jumping characters again,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
To explain myself a little farther. So the character jump from the GameCube to the Pocket Camp, the similar characters, and then obviously the advanced, then the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So Pocket Camp has Mr. Blathers, but he's the map curator, not the
you explained that.
museum. We have Tom Nook, but then he has his boys, Timmy and Tommy Nook, or Tommy and...
It's Tommy and Timmy.
Tommy and Timmy Nook. Isabel, of course. Then you get, the other characters, the hedgehogs who do clothing, which is funny.
Yeah.
And then the llamas who do build your structures. Your campsite, your tents and stuff for your other characters. Workers, yeah. Because you have the tent, you have your camper, and then you have the tents, quote unquote, set up for the other characters that are at your camp.
Makes sense.
But, like I was saying, it's just intriguing to see, like I was saying, I cheat where I use Mr. Goler, the seagull, who's in New Horizon, but is in this one. Mr. Goler, he makes it easier to send off the items to these people. So if you don't want to essentially leave your campsite, but you want to raise your levels up, you just entice Mr. Goler, and he sends off the products to the people, raises them up.
Yeah, it's not cheating per se. That's you're using a baked-in game mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of me having to go to every single island and talk to every creature and then give them each thing, I just click a button.
It's baked into the game, so
it's
just it's a convenience.
Yeah, it's a convenience. It's a comparative
quality of life, I guess, improvement to this one.
Well, essentially, with the Pocket Camp, where you are on a break, you're a 30-minute lunch or your 15-minute break, you can just fucking divulge quick, knock them out.
Which is what I would do.
Because the characters switch out every 4 or 5 hours. You know, they rotate the islands, the people. So I'm like, okay, well, I've got a 15-minute break. Knock them out real quick. Instead of me going there, it takes longer. Where compared, I have the time to be at home and take an hour or two to actually talk to them, build up more rapport, and more dive into building my level up, but as well as being able to explore the islands, replenish what I've given, with fruit and bugs and stuff like that.
All the resources.
Yeah, the resources. That's what I'm looking for. Which is what I do.
Makes sense. That's what I did. When I wanted to game, I didn't have the time or ability to really crack into any given console game. But Pocket Camp and some of the others I played were a great distraction where I could still, in some part, be kind of a part of that culture and game.
Yeah.
But, spend my limited time that I had available to do so.
Mr. Gulliver wasn't there when you started. He's a recent thing, last couple months.
And I haven't played in a real long time. It's been like a year and a half, so.
Yeah, and he rolled out about 6 months ago, Mr. Gulliver, to make it easier. To make it, instead of an hour, 2 hour, or 30-minute play, I'm getting a little more because I do dive a bit into these types of games. A 30-minute, 40-minute playthrough. 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Where you can just bust it out real quick, get it done.
But accumulated over the day.
Yeah, but then I can come back at the end of the day, visit who's still there, or revisit the people who are there, and do all that. So it makes it easier to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, those games are kind of perfect for that. I always feel that people who label themselves as, like, hardcore gamers and besmirch people for playing cell phone games or smartphone games are, in all honesty, like, missing out and obviously not recognizing that there are plenty of gamers in this world who have very hectic lives, like, scheduling wise. You're working a 40-plus hour job, and you have a family and all these things. It's nice sometimes to play your favorite Nintendo property on your smartphone.
10, 15 minutes,
and you can play 10 or 15 minutes and get enjoyment out of it.
And honestly, for me, it resets my brain, especially if I've been having a hard day. I need to shut it off real quick. And I can't obviously dive into a game when I'm at work, and I'm like on my phone, I'm like, okay, 10, 15 minutes.
It's R&R, yeah. Like, it is like kind of a moment of zen or, meditation, to some degree, because you get to zone out of whatever you're doing. That's, important or stressful or, time strict, and do what you love to do.
Yeah, and back to what you were saying too, where quote unquote people think they're hardcore gamers. And what game are you playing? You were playing Call of Duty games I suck at, and this one person was fucking making fun of you, and then he asked, I think, what level?
Oh yeah, so like for context, I played, like, Medal of Honor on the PS1, which is, like, my big jam. I loved shooters and stuff, especially then. And then I played some of the earlier Call of Duties now. They're, like, older, like the original Modern Warfare and World at War and stuff like that. But I don't play Call of Duty online, and I don't really dive into, Call of Duty, like, right when it comes out. Now I just cherry pick years after the fact which ones I want to play through the story. Yeah. So I had a couple of those, and I was streaming, because I do a series on the ASInquisitor YouTube channel every, like, Wednesday morning called Games I Suck At, or a viewer suggestion. So yeah, for the Games I Suck At series, I went through Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and everybody was super nice about that. They were, like, fine. They were actually interested in the story, which is cool.
Yeah, well, that's always cool.
And then, I did some Call of Duty. After I finished that, I did just one episode of Call of Duty World War II. And I just started it fresh. I had started it. I still haven't finished it. And I was playing, and somebody joined into the chat that I didn't recognize or know. And they were like, almost trolling, not really crossing that line a little bit. And I've been streaming long enough that it's really not that big a deal. Like,
on the precipice to be annoying.
And we're flat out just like, you fucking suck. Like, no wonder you don't play Call of Duty. Like, no wonder this is games I suck at. Just like a whole litany of stuff. And then and I was kind of ignoring them or just kind of laughing it off and moving on. Well, they finally said, it's like, what level are you fucking playing at? Is it like the easiest level? And it's like, you can bring it up and show it. But it's like, I always play games naturally, not just Call of Duty, in the hardest difficulty possible.
Yep.
Like, I just have since I was a kid. I mean, it's just something I like to do. And I'm getting older, so I know my reflexes are pretty sharp now still. Probably better than they have been in the last 5 years. But they are going to start to wane, and I know that. That's just physicality. That's just biology. Like, it's just going to happen.
It's just you getting old.
Yeah, and so I would rather kind of, like, buffer or prolong that out. This is, like, an internal kind of thought process I have. By playing games on the, like, hardest difficulty, because then I'm hopeful that, like, experience or like difficulty will kind of, like, temper aging as far as playing video games is concerned.
Yeah,
and so the dude was like, right afterwards, backtracked a little bit and then was like, holy shit, never mind, and then left the chat, like, immediately. Because I was playing it on the hardest difficulty, because that's how and I played Call of Duty Infinite Warfare like that as well. And obviously I'm not playing online. That's a different beast as far as, like, difficulty is concerned anyways.
Yeah.
I don't have the experience there. I probably could, but I just choose not to, because that's not the type of games I like to play or the type of modes I like to play in games. But, yeah, I thought that was, like, super funny, because it was somebody who took themselves as very seriously as a gamer, thought of themselves as, like, very hardcore, probably played Call of Duty online, a ton.
Probably,
Saw Call of Duty stream pop up, joined in, and then felt the need to, like, ridicule me.
Because he's quote unquote.
Even though it's
gamer.
labeled as such, games I suck at, and I was like just laughing and having a good time with my moderator and other people there.
Yeah, you had to ridicule somebody for it, and that's the.
Yeah, and I was like, well, that's not the intention of like this playlist or this series. It's just, you know, I can provide some sort of entertainment because I'm not the best at these types of games because I don't play them as frequently as I used to. You know, 20 years ago, yeah, I did. I would love to see somebody like that go back and play Medal of Honor in the highest difficulty and like try to do trick shots and stuff like we used to do.
Yeah.
No scope headshots or headshots and stuff.
Hotshots.
Sounds like a like bok choy or
Hotshots.
turnips or something. But yeah, it was just like it was a little irritating, but I just thought it was kind of silly. Like, what's the point of doing it? I suppose, like you know, it didn't bother me as much at the time, but
no, it just kind of fed into the litany that people were saying, games, cell phone games aren't actual games. And
that's why games like if I'm not interested in or like modes I don't play and stuff like that, I try to be respectful to other gamers because other gamers like certain things, and that's hardcore to them.
Yeah.
You know, as long as they're respectful to other gamers around them, and for some people, it's like hardcore gaming, just being wanting to be entrenched in that news and culture of playing a game, sometimes can only result in 15 minutes every 4 hours, you know, on Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Yeah.
And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you any less of a gamer. Like, you're very much enjoying yourself and you're in that culture and you're having a good time and it's taking your mind off the stress or the work day. And in my opinion, that's just as viable as only playing Call of Duty online or playing, you know, a 100-hour JRPG or, you know, playing only handhelds, you know, playing only your 3DS or your Vita or something along those lines. Like, they all have their kind of place and they're all gamers.
Yeah, and it's just crazy to see that. But, you know, essentially with the Pocket Camp, that's what it is. Now let's dive into Cancer and New Horizon, New Leaf.
Not New Leaf, but New Horizons. I don't want to talk about New Leaf, but I'm going to say New Leaf 37 times.
You know, you're lucky the hamster's even on the wheel today and it's not rolling by itself, okay?
Oh.
New Leaf. The game, the
New
spoiler.
Horizon.
God damn it. You're the one who does this to me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a spoiler essential for it. I want you to be aware if you've seen it, played it, don't care about spoilers, because obviously we're only so far into the game itself. Obviously, it's a big ass.
Yeah, we're gonna spoil what we can. However, yeah, we're not like 100% complete with the game because it is one that just kind of perpetually exists.
Yeah, it's one of those open-ended. It doesn't end ever. There's always something new rolling out or something like that along those lines. But we're gonna spoil as much as we can. If you want to just play it for yourself, then you know this is about time to say goodbye. But if not,
yeah, you can bow out now, and then I do have the timestamps listed in the description box below, whether you're listening to it on a podcast service or YouTube. So if you see that there's nothing else timestamp wise that catches your interest that's non-spoilerly after this, then you can skip to the outro or just kind of be done with the episode, which is completely fine because we're 40 minutes in anyway.
Yeah, so. we're gonna at least go another 20
minutes. Yeah, kind of spoilering.
Yeah, we're going
New Horizons. I know what I'm saying.
Most days.
May not come out right, but I know what I'm saying.
Most days. Anyway, so New Horizon. Fucking love that game so far. Oh my god, the game is so much fun.
Yeah, it's ridiculously good. I gotta say. I mean,
it's so much fun. Fucking tarantulas. Fuck those tarantulas.
Goddamn tarantulas.
They're sneaky. I like how they're obviously mirrored actual tarantulas. So when you're like come to get them with your net.
Oh yeah, they pull back and
like,
show their fangs at you.
Even though tarantulas are not poisonous, they'll knock your ass out like that.
Yeah, they're formidable spiders. I mean, I know they're not like crazy venomous or anything, but I mean, it's like
it's like a giant tarantula, essentially what it is.
Big old dog that doesn't have any teeth, still growling and raising its hackles at you. You're gonna
make fun of Lydia.
That's a big dog.
Oh, fair enough.
It's still gonna be. It's gonna trigger that like fight or flight.
Yeah.
And if I saw a spider that size doing that to me, I would feel the same way. Like, oh shit. Like.
Yeah.
Knowing that it's venomous or not, or like highly potent or not, really doesn't matter so much. It's just scary.
Right. I need to catch 3 of them. I need 1 for my home, 1 to give to Blathers.
The lizard side of your brain's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, that's dangerous. Like, don't fuck with that. Like,
it does. I'm like, see me, it's hissing, and then.
It's so cute. Like, normal
no.
people don't do that.
Well, I mean, I think it's cute. And then one to sell, because they're worth a lot, because they're rare.
No, I'm just saying more like in real life.
Oh, whatever. I think they're cute. I like spiders.
The spiders don't bother me. Like, I'm not.
I used to be horribly afraid of spiders when I was a little kid until I learned what they did.
Like spiders
I had
and
nightmares about
snakes
spiders
and stuff like that have never really bothered me. But
when I was like 6
I don't have a lot of like distinct kind of tangible fears like that though.
I did.
I'm more like existential crisis mode when I'm like scared of things. So it's like when I have.
What does this mean? Is God telling me something?
No, not. Sometimes it can become, I guess, religious, like in a sense.
Is this a sign?
Mine are more like it's either like nihilism, like do we matter? Does this matter? Like
That's kind of what I was saying. Yeah.
Life is nothing. Or like mortality, I'm gonna die. Like they're always like my fears are that like, or I'm a failure. Like mine are always like very existential, and it's not like I don't really see a spider. I'm like, oh shit, like I'm scared of spiders, I'm scared of heights or. I guess the one I do have is bridges. Bridges freak me out depending on what it is. If it's a big bridge, like with like cars and traffic on it, I'm fine. But if it's like a little like swaying walk bridge and shit over a park, I'm like, oh, I don't like this so much. That kind of feeds into the existential morality crisis, though, or mortality. Like I'm gonna fucking die. This bridge is gonna collapse, Indiana Jones style.
You could be like Mandy, where she's afraid of every single bug, so you can go grab a ladybug and chase her with it.
I don't know if he still is, but my little brother's the same kind of way.
I with a feeling I think Riley is. But anyways,
I know like when he was really little, he was like Andy Bug, like he was freaky, it freaked him out.
Oh my god, that's so annoying. It's a fly.
People, you just said your sister's afraid of every bug.
And I chase her with bugs. Did you miss that part of the story too?
Yeah, I remember. Same friend actually from high school, not the one who had the GameCube, but my best friend Blaine. He was. I don't know if he still is, but he was definitely afraid of like snakes, and so we had like our.
Oh, is that the one you threw gardener snakes at him?
Yeah, and then there was one that wasn't a gardener snake.
It was poisonous.
Yeah, well, our teacher told us that, but it was like, and I'm the one picking it up, by the way. But yeah, we had a biology like field trip, and we went, and because I grew up in like a real rural town, there's like creeks and bogs and woods and shit everywhere. And so yeah, we went to some creek nearby that had like a lot of different like specimens as far as like animals and plant life and stuff like that. So we had to wade into like this creek with like waders and stuff on, and there was gardener snakes everywhere across the top of the water. So I pick them up, throw them at a friend. He didn't like that. That shows that I'm not afraid of snakes, obviously, because I'm the one like capturing snakes, which I had never been around, by the way. I was just like, oh, that's cool.
Threw it on a friend. He's scared of these.
It wasn't like I, had snakes at home or something, or was used to them, or had other friends who had like, reptiles as like pets or something. Like it was just like I didn't give a shit. Snake, probably more traumatizing than a snake than anybody else. Like, no, God!
Why you pick me up? Now you're throwing.
Why you throw me at that fleshy ape? Don't! I'm scared of apes.
Anyways, learn about spiders, no longer scared of them. But the New Horizons is like, it's just like a great game. It's honestly
it's super well rounded. Yeah, it's a 9 or a 10 in my book. It's awesome. It's fantastic.
9 or 10 polar bear paws, kind sir.
Yeah, so we do it out of 5, so I guess it'd be a 4.5 or 5. Like, paws.
I'd give it a 4.7 paws.
I like how you go like real in depth, like you go in the middle there. I would just round to a half.
I do toe beans, yo.
You do toe beans.
I do toe beans.
Yeah. That's so funny.
4 paws, 0.7 toe beans.
So funny.
But and of course, let me dive into the characters that are
like 3.5 toe beans on a paw.
Oh God. Right. And so we dive into the characters. Mr. Blathers, he's there, of course. We have, 3 characters for
Blathers is really cool. Like, we already have the museum set up, and it's huge and gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the TARDIS.
Never ending.
You go inside, and it's bigger than it is.
It's on the outside.
Than it looks on the outside. So.
Yeah, and then we have Tommy Nook. Tommy Nook. That's a fucking tongue teaser right there.
Timmy, Tommy, and Tom.
Yep. Nook. And then we
Triple
have
T.
the 2 characters. We have Rod and Phoebe. Phoebe the bird and Rod the rat.
Is he a rat?
He's a rat.
Or a mouse, yeah.
A mouse rat, whatever.
Yeah. Who's a fitness nut?
Yeah.
Which that drives me crazy.
I know.
I'm like, it's a like deserted island. This is vacation time. Don't be fucking working.
He gave me a plan to make a honeycomb flooring.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it looks like honeycombs.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I think I have some of the Nook ones, but that's it.
Yeah, he gave it to me, so I've got to get some hornet nests, which they're just as much of a pain in the ass too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you don't have your net ready, and if you're not fast, same like the tarantula situation, if you don't catch them,
You get stuck by wasps, and then your eye like swells shut.
And you have to take medication to get rid of it.
I don't know what adverse effects besides how your
ice
character looks.
It's just because of how it looks, and I don't know if it goes away
I always
naturally.
take medicine for it, but
I don't know if it goes away naturally, essentially, but I take medicine anyways. Cause
I always do. Yeah, it's more crafting and
fun to do anyways.
Your character kind of looks messed up.
Well, and the whole cool part is
I know if you talk to other characters, they're startled.
you're like, oh god, what happened here?
Yeah.
Not Tom Nook or Timmy Nook. They're because you sell things to them, so they don't really care.
No, they'll still talk to you like Phoebe and Rod, but they will definitely remark that your eye is
you look fucked up,
and that you should take some medicine.
Yeah, and so with
crafting island Benadryl is what you're doing. But.
Essentially, yeah. But with that being said, you start out obviously in a tent, you go on the trip, you pick your name and all that. Essentially, same startup with all of them.
Yeah.
And then obviously you have to do certain things before you can really go exploring. Because I'm used to playing the game. They have a few. And honestly, it's not really tutorial. It's bare minimum tutorial, and I like that.
Yeah, you had more tutorial than I did because you're the owner of the island on our Switch. We just have the one Switch, and so you can play.
You don't have multiple saves though. It's like it always. You can have multiple people. But
it's obviously saving player specific data though, because you have your character and stuff like that. And so like my character's not there when you're playing, kind of a thing. So it's obviously saving some data per user, but yeah, because the island is static when nobody's playing, say for like time of day, then yeah, it definitely is pulling a bulk of the information from a island save rather than a user save. But all three exist kind of simultaneously.
Yeah, but it's got like one main person, which is fine.
That doesn't bother me at all because like in this instance, and it's super rare. I can barely think of a time when two really big AAA games from very different publishers released on the same day.
That we both
and then
wanted.
on top of it, we each wanted one or the other. And Animal Crossing was definitely that game for you, the one that you wanted. So being kind of like tacked onto an island and having Ariel run the show like doesn't bother me in the slightest. I think it's actually kind of a clever way to set it up anyways. Because it's nice like,
to... You can't.
If I play it like while you're at work, it's not like
you're doing the task I wanted to do.
Yeah, and it's more like communal. It's like because even though you're playing like later than myself, it's like because there's two of us playing it, and it's one island. We're working towards like common goals.
Yeah,
together, which makes it easier. When
I was building the museum, I needed iron. No, I was building the store, not the museum.
You're building the store, so I collected iron because I didn't need it, and then I gave it to you.
And I needed 30 pieces of iron to build the boys' store, Tommy and Timmy.
Yeah, and I gave
Blathers,
you
all we needed from him is...
You built the museum, but I collected like 75% of... Because once you start the museum, you have to turn in 15 unique specimens to Blathers to continue on with the construction of the museum. So, and I, in this instance, didn't know that you had started the museum, and the game was like super fresh and new. So I also didn't know, really what I was doing, because I had only played really Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and then had seen the original Animal Crossing,
back in the day.
15 years prior or 18 years prior. But, yeah, I collected... I knew he had a quest, and it was like, I need 15 specimens, so I just started collecting specimens for him. And then
I collect the latter half,
And so I gave him, like, 11 of the 15 that he needed. And I was kind of topped out with what I could do because of the time of day.
Yeah.
And then, you finished it off. But it was like, between the two of us, we finished the museum in, like, a day.
And it's, like, the same breath, too. It's, like, I kept some specimen, like a ladybug and a... butterfly mantis, praying mantis, or a flower praying mantis. They're both displayed in my house because I don't want to. I want to keep them. They're cool. They're fucking beautiful little bugs. And I think Anthony, which was kind of cool, gave me a fossil because I like to keep certain fossils. It's a lizard on a branch. So he gave me a fossil and it's displayed on my fireplace, which is cool with this game. There's some furniture pieces I found that Anthony has no access to because like you shake trees, things fall out of it, like money or prizes. I found a cool canopy bed. And I think one of the islanders actually gave me the fire pit. I don't quite remember because I've been playing so many hours into it. So our houses are vastly unique. Anthony has bought certain things that he likes to display, and I finally just got it to where I can customize wooden things where I can paint them. So I can paint my wardrobe thingy. I can paint my nightstand that you gave me, and we back and forth. We're giving each other items. Like I know he likes succulents from life, and I got a can, and it's like I've got a DIY idea. And I'll like woohoo. Always screaming woohoo.
Yeah, that and Doom, which are very different game
Yeah,
experience, but
is
very
like
different sounds.
Little angelic Doom, and then woohoo, and he does that
from Animal Crossing, and then Doom Eternal.
He did what he did last night. Da Doom.
Yeah, he wanted me to play
Doom.
Doom because I wasn't playing Doom.
Nope.
I was playing
Ghost
Recon Breakpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was playing Animal Crossing so he could hear it, and we always play Doom and Animal Crossing together. I think Doom.
Yeah, he wanted me to play Doom, so I switched over and played Doom.
He was grounded, but he was being cute, so he came out of his bedroom.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, it's like, cool to see, like, even though Anthony and I have about the same size houses, there's just fucking damn assy. I got fencing. He doesn't.
Mine's more like rustic. And yeah, I have different flooring, different wallpaper. I have different crafting things than you have. Mm-hmm. You have different crafting things than I have.
Yeah, being the main islander too, I get certain materials I have to make to expand on people coming here, building their houses. I need to make certain things.
Well, yeah, like with you built the houses.
Mm-hmm.
I gave you some of the materials. You got most of them yourself.
You invited the characters.
But I invited all the characters because I was the first to discover that you could go off island to these mystery islands just to collect things.
Yeah. Redeemable. Again, this comes into gameplay where you earn miles compared to bells, and then you can explore other islands, which is legit as shit.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. It's like it's more analogous to like miles to dollars in
essentially, yeah.
And then you still have the bell system as well, but
yeah, catching the bugs, paying their rent. And so, but what's cool is with the miles, though, you do either tasks, either you cut down a tree, catch this many bugs, create these many DIY
and those
projects.
are like daily tasks, and like the first 5 you get ×2 if you complete them within the day. But then they do automatically refresh. It's not as if you finish 5 and then you don't have any more like tasks to do.
That's good. That's yummy.
They refresh in new ones. You just don't get ×2 the miles if you complete it, which is cool. So you can still keep playing. You're not.
And then there's like other tasks too, like the main task. You do talk to your people this many days, create 100 DIY projects. You get more.
I got one where it was like collecting like 1,000 weeds or something.
Yeah.
You got, 500 miles or 1,000 miles or something.
Bigger miles, and it's 2,000 miles to get it. And I just did this. You didn't yet. You're almost there. I did the 5,000 miles to expand how many more slots. So I got 10 more slots to carry more shit.
I told you about that. Because that's what I was saving up for, and I haven't played the last 2 days.
No. And then it does have a daily thing, too, where you log into the Nook thing and you get extra miles for logging in.
Yeah, exactly. And that steadily increases each day you log into your kiosk, which is kind of cool. You get like 50 the first day, 80 the next, and so on and so forth.
Mine is cool because I have mine, because there's 4 maps you can pick from.
Yeah.
We picked one with like levels and stuff, and
it has like the most. It's the one with the most amount of like rivers too. It's got it trisects the island pretty much into like 3 different areas.
Yeah. Which is
you have your main area, then you have like 3 smaller areas on like the northern part of the island, and then you also have like these bluffs. And then it's all surrounded by beaches. So.
Yeah, mine's between 2 rocks and a little beach where I have actually a pretty cool iron gate. Iron chair and table, and then my picnic stuff set on top of the table. Yeah. Then my entire thing is like fenced around. That's not how you shake the trees, and sometimes you get items that fall. That's how I got my canopy bed. Yeah. Stuff like that, and it's just.
For me, mine is almost on the other side of the island, not completely. It's a little bit more landlocked, but I wanted to fish more. So it's like...
Near the rivers.
Between 2 rivers and a little pond. But it's kind of separate and close to where we have our museum. And mine's definitely a little bit more rustic and... Yeah.
And it's cool, though. It's like, God, this game, like we talked about, can either be 15 minutes or fucking 2 hours.
And I've totally done that because, like, I've... if I'm working on like streams or a production for a video or listening to a podcast and maybe cleaning the house or getting Ollie going, I've totally done that. I've dived in just to get kind of my dailies for like
Yeah.
15 minutes, a half hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like collect a few things that I want, you
Yeah.
know, maybe rack up some miles and then kind of be done with it. But then there's other days where I'll have more time, you know, ASInquisitor isn't as demanding on certain days. So then I'll spend, you know, 2 hours and I'll play.
Yeah, and then
I do a lot more. I'll try to rack up as many miles as possible so I can go to as many other islands as possible.
Yep.
And I'll save a whole bunch of stuff, build a whole bunch of stuff.
Talk to the people, discover cool things.
Yeah.
You know, there was one point.
I definitely play as both.
Yeah, and then this is where the difference between you and I used to be on handheld now.
I was just gonna ask you that. So we also play very differently as far as what the Switch allows.
Yes. Yeah, very differently. And then what the funny part is, and we've talked about this before with, you know, Animal Crossing, because obviously it was on the GameCube, but then it vastly was mainly on handheld from then on. And so I've always played handheld versions, like my DS and stuff like that. And it's like, I like playing the Switch the handheld way. I like it being up close and personal. The buttons make sense to me. There was one point when we were trying to play together, and I was playing on with my cool Pro controller, my
your Pro GameCube
my
controller for
Pro,
the Switch.
for the Switch, which makes sense. Throwback to when I played on the GameCube. But I'm like, I don't like playing like this.
And mine was the opposite way. So this I know we've talked about before. Ariel got me a Switch Pro controller, and I play the Switch a lot more now. And it's one of my like yearly goals to play the Switch more and play, you know, a lot of games on the Switch for this next year for content and even just for fun.
Yeah.
But and I love my Switch controller. I use it all the time. I'm very comfortable with it. There was one day where I tried to play Animal Crossing in handheld mode, and it's like I did it, and it was one of the days where I only played for like a half hour or so.
Yeah.
But I found the same frustration that you had, but the other way, where I was like, the Joy-Cons, I was like not used to playing that way.
Anyways,
They don't. They're a little small, and it just didn't feel natural to me. And so I had some difficulties where I would be like accidentally pressing the wrong button or like, you know, kind of fumbling around even though the layout's the same and the buttons are the same and I know them now. It was just I was having difficulties, but after that one day, I went back to playing on the television, which is how I had started.
Yeah.
And I'm just fine with the Switch Pro controller, and I like it on the big screen, and I like to use my Switch Pro controller.
I don't like it. I like the handheld version, and if anything, Ollie can sit next to me, I play with him, and he can still meet and do things, but it's like, and I'm used to it that way. I'm used to playing it on the handheld version now. It's like, and I'm a handheld version person. You know, I like my
handhelds
DS
that I really got into was
the Vita,
the Game Boy Color.
Yeah, eons ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
And then, the PSP and the Vita I played dominantly. The PSP, I was in college, so I played it all the time. I had long bus rides. I had an hour break between classes or 2 hour breaks or whatever. So I played the PSP. And then even further into adulthood, just kind of with like in modernity, you know, with a family and a different lifestyle and stuff, I played the Vita.
Yep. And it's like with me, it's like with, like I said, I've iterated this many times, a big family that I have, my parents really didn't want us kids playing when they had their TV time, you know, us playing games. So the kind of way I got around playing video games, I had my handheld and I was outside. See, I'm outside, Mom, but I'm playing my handheld.
Yeah,
you know?
And I had a TV in my room always because I was an only child for the first 9 years. And then afterwards, I was the oldest by far and a teenager. So...
Angsty teen just played in the basement, you know.
Yeah, I had my own television, and I had grown up with a Sega Genesis, which I've talked about, and then I kind of went on from there. So I've always been more attuned into console gaming and playing on a television.
And I think that's where you and I have talked about before. You're teasing me about, you know, I'm a Nintendo chick. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm more of a Nintendo handheld person, not necessarily a Nintendo
Well,
person.
and that's fine. Like, I mean,
no, it just made me think about that, you know, and it was just kind of funny. But in the long run, I'm honestly super excited, and they just
like playing the 64 with those horrible controllers.
Oh, shut up!
You know they're bad. The console itself and the games aren't bad by any means, but that controller is awful. Everybody knows that controller is awful.
Anthony.
So bad.
Shut up.
GameCube one's fine.
The GameCube one's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyways, to iterate, they also just announced not too long ago events still. Like Easter's coming up.
Which is really cool because...
You collect Easter eggs, and I'm so excited!
I play now a lot of, like, looter shooters that are like games as a service, like the Division 2 and Ghost Recon Breakpoint. But I also play like Fallout 76.
Yeah. Fallout Vault Dwellers.
Oh yeah, Fallout Shelter.
Shelter.
Yeah, and all of those games, especially that are like heavily reliant on online connectivity, do in-game events.
Yeah.
Which I agree with Ariel. It's something I really enjoy. It freshens up the gameplay. It's unique content, and then it's very apropos to the time of year.
Like, depending on who's collecting what, like we got all the Easter eggs when we did Easter in Fallout 76, so we got the cool eggs, and
we'll
it's
get the
like
Sanatron for Christmas.
Yeah, because people who've seen it said, "How did you do that?" Well, I logged in every day so I can get the eggs.
Yeah, and I had that. Yeah, because I got the bunny mascot outfit, which I use in Fallout 76.
A lot of people don't have that because they didn't log in to get it.
Yeah,
and it's like with me, it's like I fucking love the daily logins and getting it, and so like when Easter or these certain events come around, I'm gonna be super excited. Because it's like with the Pocket Camp, the events I was talking about, like catching bugs and stuff like that with planting flowers. Now it's like, you get the Easter ones, you go fishing, you collect eggs, and the eggs would let you actually build items. You know, you know, or you turn them into the bunny or whatever.
Because I think more for like a gacha game, a lot of the gameplay revolves around those events, just because the game can only be so large.
Yeah.
However, with a console release or even you know, a hybrid console like the Switch, it's not solely dependent on events. It's almost just like an added extra layer of fun, and so it's like supplementary to the game, but it's not necessary. So it's really cool because you can have, you know, hours and hours and hours of enjoyment with just the base game and what it offers, but then
these cool
like
events,
we read yesterday,
like, you know,
or what was announced
April
yesterday,
1st to the 15th, I think.
Something, yeah, it's like a 2-week period. Like, that encompasses
which makes
Easter.
sense, a 2-week period, you know, because it crosses into Easter. You talk to the Easter bunny. It's like, I've lost my eggs, and you go collect the eggs.
Yeah, it's super cool. I didn't expect, because Nintendo is obviously kind of new, especially being connected to online all the time. It was sort of done with the Wii. The Wii U is just kind of lost now to the annals of time, but. It's cool to see the Switch kind of like embrace that and do like events or online multiplayer even, and like that's really cool.
I like it a lot. I think it's really, really great, and so I would think with that note, you know, obviously we got to play more into it. There's a lot to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty perpetual, and this is especially, in my opinion, where it kind of harkens back to simulation games. Is you can play, you know, like. I'm going to go a little bit further back because it's the one I had the most familiarity with. But like SimCity 2000, over and over and over again. It doesn't ever end.
Yep. Never, ever ends.
Even if you're kind of like, you get bored with like your city and stuff, you could start a new one. You know, there's always something to do or to be done.
Or if you get bored or forget about the game, you get too busy in life, you can always come back and like, oh, this has all changed.
Yeah, exactly. And Animal Crossing really like kind of fits into that mold of a simulation game. Because I mean, you are simulating aspects of life and building, you know, not necessarily a city, but an island or a community, you know, or a township.
Which is cool in its own right. And so, you know, I'm super excited to see what the future foretells. And honestly, like you said, this game's never ending. I don't think I'm ever going to get bored of it because that's why I love my Pocket Camp. I honestly still, like, I'll log off of Animal Crossing New Horizon and I'm playing my Pocket Camp, you know, like 10 minutes after that, you know, just make sure I did my daily login and what I need to do. And that's doing that hand in hand with the both of them, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And there's games that, like, I'm definitely very, like, agnostic in the types of consoles and games that I do play, but a lot of people usually will stick to one, and I've even heard, like, people talk about, like, you know, they play 2 or 3 games. Is that too much kind of a thing? And it's like, I play dozens of games every week. They're usually the same week to week to week until I start to finish some of them up. But, you know, I'll probably play 6 different consoles in a week. And I'll play, you know, 12 to 18 different games.
Yeah.
Every single week.
Exactly.
But this is one that I'll definitely go back to as well. Where it's like, it's
fun.
Yeah, it's just fun. And like we talked about earlier, you can spend 15 minutes with it. You can spend a half hour with it. You can spend 2 hours with it. You know, it really doesn't matter like the time so much. You're going to derive some sort of enjoyment and productivity.
So how many times am I pulling you, babe, look what I did. Or look how cool
this
is,
absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, because there's so much to show off, or something new that you got that I don't have, or you know,
or
we've gotten further at a big project.
If I need to make you something,
yeah,
or you don't have it.
I need to hop on to give you something because I've stocked up on a whole bunch of iron for some reason.
Yeah,
or, you know, things like that. There's always something to do, and then it's also, in my opinion, one of the best like communal kind of games. Like it just makes you feel good, and it makes you feel good to talk about other people's. Like I've enjoyed talking to you about the game.
Yeah.
Like when we're not playing it, or if you're playing it and I'm playing something else, it's just fun. It makes you feel good, and it brings out the best in like gaming and gamers, where you're just, it's more collaborative. It's more, you know,
I see on Twitter all the time people asking, hey, come visit my island. Come here. Here's my friend code.
And I did that with my sister, which it's like, I talk to sporadically, unfortunately, and don't really play online games with her. They like a lot of different games than I do, or the games that do overlap are single players. They're like JRPGs. And yeah, she asked me if I had a dodo code. And so I went and got one for the day, and I sent her the code via text, and then she came in, and my little brother was at their house watching her play, because they share an island, and came over, and I got to check out our island and stuff.
We got some more and fun
miles, and we were able to chat in game, and it was really cool. It was a fun experience, you know. It was, like I said, I don't really play online games with them, and so Animal Crossing was the one where we were able to.
Yep.
You know, without any one of us making a consolidation of, you know, oh, that's not really a game I play, but I'll play it because you play it, so we can play online. It wasn't that type of situation.
Which is nice.
Which is really cool.
All right, well, on another cool, relatively exciting note for me, so Rogue Energy, who sponsors this podcast, was doing a giveaway thing. And I saw it, and I mentioned, hey, babe, aka, you know, hubby over here, Anthony, it was a criteria where you write something down for a spouse or a friend or somebody who deserves free Rogue.
Yeah, it was like a Rogue Energy Samper Pack, and then they have a new shaker.
The Gladiator.
Yeah, and so...
And I've been eyeballing it. I'm like, hey, you know, fuck.
We were going to get it... Regardless, which is kind of funny. But we just hadn't done it yet.
No, because we just put in another order for a tub and got the free glass that they were offering.
Yes.
And so I can't get the shaker. Well, I could have, but I was already getting a tub and a glass. I was going to wait to get the shaker down the road, because I already have 3 of them.
Yeah, plus if they were divided up, we could use our promo code.
Yeah.
As well as the free glass was a promo code.
Yeah.
And you can't double up.
No, and so we did that, and so he entered me in, and I was at work, checked on Twitter, and they're like, hey, you had won. And I'm like, what? I never win. Oh. And so I was like super excited. I was texting him, and I was at work. I'm not supposed to be on the phone. Oh my god, I won! And I DM'd them, and like, yeah, you won. And they said, your husband wrote this really sweet thing about you. And I'm like, oh.
So I think I wrote something along the lines of that if anyone needs energy, it's my beautiful wife, because she works incredibly hard and is the breadwinner for her family. Or something along those lines.
Yeah, it's essentially along those lines.
Which is true. I meant what I wrote.
Well, yeah, of course, and you meant what you wrote. But then it's like, you know, I won. They sent it out like ASAP on that shit. I got it within a week. And
less than. It's been a few days.
Yeah, and so like within a few days span, I got my Gladiator.
I want to say like you got that like Monday or something like that, and we're at Friday, and just because of the chaos of the world, Postal's a little slow, and it was supposed to be here yesterday.
Thursday, but I still got it on Friday though, so it's so cool.
So 5 days later, it was in your hands,
right?
Which is insane.
And so you know, yes, they sponsor this, but it's also trying to hear. Also, because the validity of them doing like winnings, like holding those contests and stuff, and that they actually are legit with what they do, and just, you know, solidifies why you need to get Rogue Energy and why it's so fucking cool, and why, you know,
it's a good anecdote. Like, I think a lot of podcasters or content creators say, you know, I would never be endorsed by something I didn't use or I didn't like, and you find that that's not the case. We're small enough, especially right now, that it is the case. So when we say that we wouldn't be sponsored by anybody we didn't use or enjoy, we mean it.
Yes.
Like, Ariel uses Rogue Energy 5 days a week. She uses it every single morning when she goes to work for her day job. Well, and I make it for her, and sometimes I'll do like 2 in advance, and we have several shakers now.
Well, it's like, I like it because there's no sugar, there's hardly any, there's 5 calories, and with my job I sit on my butt. I don't need to add more sugar and calories.
Yeah.
You know, to...
Because you're not going to be able to burn them off.
You know, I drink tea, natural tea. Dead. Yeah, I drink tea and stuff, but then I have my Rogue Energy, which boosts my energy naturally, you know, and... It's like the best thing ever, and like Anthony was saying, I drink it 5 days a week when I'm at work.
Yeah, and I get email digests from them that showcase, if they have a new promo code for that week or month, what new products they have come out.
They're
They
always
are
doing cool
very
events.
communicative and do a great job of like letting their customers or their fans know what's going on, what's new.
Yep.
You can use this promo code to get a discount. And their shipping is incredibly quick and fast.
Yes. I'm never too long without my Rogue Energy.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just within a few days you get it.
Yeah,
And
which is insane.
You get an awesome little like graphic like card with their kind of like company
Thank
motto
you.
on it and thank you
And a sticker. I always put the sticker on our fridge.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of different ones now.
Our fridge is chalkboard painted, so
yeah, that's why we have stickers and stuff on it. But anyways, if you want to try it out yourself and have the same kind of experience that we've experienced with Rogue Energy. At checkout in the promo box, type in 64, the numerals, and then bits all together. Capital B. So 64, capital B, ITS, 64 bits. And then you can get 10% off your next order.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Gonna shamelessly plug.
And then they are our sponsorship and they're a great company. So
I just thought it was cool. I didn't win because they don't know that they sponsor me specifically. They sponsor our podcast and our company.
It's not through
Ariel
or Anthony Schultz
No,
at
it's
all.
at ASI. It's our ASI
It's
company.
ASInquisitor.
Yeah.
It's ASI.
It's our actual company, so they had no idea, but,
They're one and the same.
Yeah, but super fucking stoked. I got it today. I'm excited to use it for work on Saturday. It's my toughest day, aka my Monday at work. Yeah. Anyways,
which is kind of cool, too, because, like, the week before, at the end of the week, we found out ASInquisitor got a review opportunity with Twin Breakers.
I know.
It's like back to back.
Yep.
Something that you really wanted and something that I really wanted to do. So
it was cool. It was legit.
It was super
All right.
cool.
Any other housekeeping, or is that everything, boss?
No, we mentioned in our last Rage Quit, and it's worth mentioning here, we were planning on doing t-shirts and merchandise.
It's going to roll out a little later.
By the end of April, along with the Patreon, so you could get early or exclusive content.
Beginning of May, if anything, we'll push it down to the end of May.
It'll probably be further out than that.
Okay, well, I was thinking, sorry, I meant September.
Yeah, we'll have to kind of wait
Summertime,
and see,
September, see how that goes.
What's going on with
and
the rest of the world.
Today.
However, we don't want to overburden or like... We're not going to ask you for $1 when there's a lot of Americans that are hard up or now unemployed.
Yep.
It's kind of what it comes down to.
Yep.
Like, I don't care if it's even just $1. It's too much to ask when you're worried about either your savings or your 401k or
your
getting
family
food or rent mortgage, And then on top of it, if you are comfortable, you probably are trying to uplift those around you, your family members, your friends, your coworkers. So we don't want to be in a position to hurt people and ask them for money.
Yep.
And even though you'd probably be gracious enough to do so, we don't want you to.
Nope.
So we're going to wait on merchandise.
Yep.
We'll see how this unfolds and like how it plays out for when we will. Hopefully we'll have just kind of everything in the pipeline and good to go so it can just launch. And then we really don't have to worry. We don't have to come back on here and be like, well, it's going to be another 3 months because we haven't done anything. But hopefully it'll be to the point where it's like, well, everything's kind of finalized. It's just
roll out.
Yeah, it's going to roll out on this date. This is what we're doing. So, but just want to keep you abreast of what's going on. Be safe out there.
As always.
Listen to podcasts, watch TV, be around your
home.
Family and friends. Yeah, stay home. Watch movies, listen to music.
Your HR cat about your spouse,
Exactly. The usual.
the cat or the dog, make them HR, then you just tell your complaints to them, and then write it on a paper, and they can just eat it.
Yeah, see, it works out.
Yeah, perfect.
For everyone. Really.
I know, right?
Yeah. But yeah, just be safe, and I know it's a trying time for everybody, but be careful with yourself and your loved ones, and
down with your bad self.
Just try to have as much fun with it as you can in a hard situation.
Yep.
Listen to pop culture stuff like this.
Yep. Well, I think that's a good thing. As always, folks, follow the bear.
Follow the bear.
Follow the bear.
Follow the bear.
Bear.
Follow.
The
Bear.
Bye, folks.
Peace.